How are we? I am here just seeing what glasses look better for my class, my book study. These are from the Halloween bin. So just full disclosure, I'm going to be real honest with y'all. These are, I don't know. They're not sure. This is a little Buddy Holly for me. I'm going to go back to the real ones where they actually have some value. And get started, right, guys? Enough fooling around. Let's do this, guys. This is my book, Love the House You're In. These are the actual sizes of my hands, okay? I can palm an NBA basketball. Don't be afraid. This book is not that small, although it is small. It's small. It's meant to be fit in your purse. Anyway, guys, 40 ways to improve your home and change your life. We're going to go through the whole thing. If you want to buy the book, great. I heard that Amazon has slowed down to a screeching halt book orders, meaning that if you order a book, you're going to get it last after people order yeast and bread makers and enough, toiletries and food products to last 100 years. And then you'll get your book. So anyway, hard to get a book, but you still can get it. And so we're gonna create this version for you guys to go through it. So a little bit about my perspective, my philosophy before we get started. As you'll notice, if you don't know, this book has no photos. Okay, there's little sketches, there's lots of little quotes from famous people on thoughts on design in the home, but there's absolutely not one photo. That's intentional. Number one, books on design date, meaning like they don't last because visually sort of the look and the feel of the photographs feels like it's from another era in just a couple of years. I didn't want that. I wanted my book to have like an evergreen quality. It remains to be seen whether it does. It's 4 years old now. But I wanted to do something and give you sort of timeless concepts about your home that you can do things to make them last. And also, the other reason I didn't want to project my aesthetic, my ideas, the look and feel of my home onto your home. My home has nothing to do with your home. Their designers have a very defined and clear aesthetic where you hire them because you want their look. You go to the store because you want their look. You read their book because you love their look. I don't have a look. Okay, I'm constantly tinkering, experimenting. I'm much more scientist than sort of defined aesthetic designer. I'm somebody that's always experimenting, and I'm really, really open to all kinds of different things because I love the process, and I also love almost everything that I see. And sort of putting it all together in a constant sense of exploration and a constant curiosity is kind of my bag. So with that said, no photos. It does have 5 parts. The first process is very introspective. The first part is very introspective. We're going to ask and talk about a lot of questions about you, what makes you up. And the second part is helping us to really glean information about our home. We're going to look really sort of with a lot of distance and maybe detachment about the home, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and really say, okay, take stock of what we're working with. The last part, there's 5 parts. I thought the last part. The third part is sort of putting it all together. The fourth section moves through room to room. So there's a room to room section. The fifth section talks about curating for your home and filling it with things you're connected to. So a little bit about my perspective on your aesthetic and style. I hate the word style. I think it's total bullshit. Okay, I couldn't say that in the book. Publisher wouldn't let me, but I totally can here. Guys, style is something that is already defined. A style has been already defined by somebody. And retailers say, help us find your style so we can sell you stuff. Well, that's great. And I want retailers to sell stuff, right? We want healthy businesses. However, I don't want to be pushed into a corner about a style. I don't want you to push yourselves into a corner about style, because I believe in the home. What creates a lasting home, what creates a home full of like the right healing and beautiful nurturing energy to make life better, is when your story and your home intersect. Right? Your story and your aesthetic intersect. And so that the home actually tells your story, reminds you of your story, envelops you with who you really are, where you've been, where you're going, where you are right now, that it speaks to you in this way. So your story and the narrative of your life and your home kind of intersect. To me, that is much more powerful and profound than a style. Okay, what's my style? Oh, Palm Beach with a touch of whimsy. Oh, boho with a dark intrigue. Oh, I love traditional. I'm super, super duper farmhouse. Okay, that was an ugly side of me, and I'm sorry. Okay, I don't love letting that side out of me. But again, I really got edited down on some of my angst about this in the book, so I'm letting it out here. Y'all are seeing a completely unvarnished angst I have for this idea that we have to commit to a style. Now, I understand that some of you want something that's clear cut and reduced to just a few things and colors and shapes and traditions and maybe sort of nationalities in terms of where furniture comes from and so forth. I understand that, but keeping your heart open really helps you to be open to a lot more options, not just what the market is telling you is cool. Okay, the market is constantly dictating what they want to sell, what they think is cool, what the tastemakers have blessed, right? I actually have a very different perspective. I think it needs to come from you. One of the things I say in the book in the very early parts, which I underline, which I forgot I wrote, which is really darn cool, is I want you to love your house, and here's the secret. It doesn't come from a great couch or the perfect happiness-inducing paint color. It doesn't spring forth from the best interior designer or reading the most popular design blogs. It comes from within you. It comes when you fearlessly put yourself into your home and tell your life story throughout it. It comes when you stop looking at what everyone else is doing. It comes when not everything matches, but when the spaces match you and what you're all about. Okay, guys, so that is really my philosophy, that this is an introspective process. This is a very personal process. Yes, we need to go into the marketplace and go to Wayfair and go to, the wallpaper manufacturers and go to Benton Moore and go to all the places to make the home. We need the goods, right? But the first layer is a very introspective, very personal layer process where we consider ourselves first. What happens is, the reason I wrote this book, and then I'm going to end because this video is getting too long. The reason why I wrote the book is that we had become so outwardly focused. And when I worked on HGTV, I found that I was hired to dictate what I said was good. What everybody else knew was clearly wrong because you weren't a designer, you weren't on HGTV. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to anoint you with my knowledge. And with HGTV, with magazines, with Houzz, with Pinterest, with all these things, we are taught to look outwardly for what we want. Well, I just don't agree with that. I think that can give a momentary satisfaction in terms of, oh, great, this is what I like right now, based on my mood right now, based on my how I am seeing it right now. But I think it's a very short-term satisfaction, and I think lasting, long satisfaction is much more layered and complex, much more heart-centered. It's when you're really connected in your heart with the things of your home. They're going to provide you with a deeper satisfaction and also a longer lasting satisfaction. So we don't have to throw things out after a month, right? When the market says, oh, trust me, you like this. This is what you like based on your previous selections. When the algorithm decides your house, it's very short term because then you get tired of it because it wasn't connected to your heart. So somebody said to me, oh, I get it. We just have to fill our house with meaningful things. Meaningful, yes, but I even think meaningful doesn't capture its connection, things that we're connected to. So I don't want to jump the shark. Is that the right? I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but that is my perspective, that what I'm coming from. And the very first chapter, which I'm going to talk about in the next video, is to stop doing anything into your house without going through a process. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands, but it just feels right. Don't buy anything. Don't ask anybody any advice. Don't hire anybody. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. And we're going to talk about what you stop and do next, because I'm already at 8:10, which is too long. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Red glasses next time.